Hello, everyone. Jason Hagholm here, and today I am joined by Justin Bourgeois, who is competing this Saturday night in the main event at FLA 4 against Patrick Connors from Saxville, New Brunswick. Justin, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing quite well. Well, Justin, it's been a while since we've seen you fight. You haven't competed in a number of years. Obviously, a pandemic as well gets in the way of that. Just talk to us about like getting the news that you're getting a fight. Like, how excited were you for that, and what have you been doing to stay active?
I was super excited to see they wanted me on the main slot of the card in Sackville on June 11th. I had a fight booked right before the pandemic hit. I was supposed to fight Moncton for Elite One, and the pandemic hit, so that crushed them ideas. And I think it was 2 years prior before I actually fought. So I took on Kyle Nelson, which we've seen. He had a successful career after me and whatnot. And I just really wanted to kind of make some adjustments to my game and sit back and spend some time with my family and do the things necessary that I thought I needed to do to accomplish my goals.
And now you get the chance to showcase some of those skills. Before we get into, I guess, looking at the fight, what areas would you say you've improved on, Justin, since the last time we've seen you fight, which was that Kyle Nelson fight, I believe, back in 2015?
Yes, it was. Yeah, I would say my striking got a lot better. Just basically more well-rounded. My jiu-jitsu got better. I haven't let off the gas pedal with training since. I've tried not to burn myself out too much, but just stay consistent with the family life and the work life and, training hard. Yeah.
And now you're here in the main event against Patrick Connors, who's taking the fight on a couple weeks notice, I should say, very short notice for him, catch weight at 150. But what have you seen from Patrick, who just fought a month ago out in Montreal?
I was really impressed with his performance. He did well. I believe he ended up getting the guy's back and, getting the win with the rear naked choke. And I think he's a very respectable opponent, very humble, and I'm looking forward to competing against him.
It's such a Canadian style fight. I spoke to Patrick and he had the same amount of respect for you. There's no bad blood or anything like that. It's just two guys that are ready to take advantage of this opportunity here, Justin. And as well, fighting for, Fight League Atlantic, a promotion that was just starting to get going before the pandemic put them on hold. How important is that promotion to the eastern part of Canada, which is starting to get the scene MMA going again?
It's huge. For like young guys coming up, we run a small gym in Amherst, Cumberland MMA, and it opens up opportunities for like these young guys coming through the door, and it gives the ability for like new MMA fans to be exposed to shows and see what really goes on with these, how well run they are, and like how professional the people are and the athletes, and it's great opportunity for the East Coast, and they're like banging out shows left and right. It seems like they even did like they were doing like a submission commute. I ended up grappling Chris Calades, like on a day's notice. My opponent got hurt, so Chris Calades come in and they had like grappling shows going on. So they're trying to keep their athletes active, and I think it's great for the East Coast, and there should be I'd like to see more organizations.
Yeah, I think it's great to see the scene as a whole in Canada get going, but especially out east, because I know how much they were, willing to put in and how hard they tried to get shows going, even during the pandemic and things of that nature. So it is great to see the East Coast start to boom again. And, as you said, you competed in that Kumite short notice, and Patrick coming in short notice. Does that kind of help you a bit, Justin? They kind of just got to go in there and do it?
Yeah. It's gonna be exciting, man. Right? It's gonna to test my skills against his and vice versa. And then there's gonna be a lot of hometown crowd there, and I'm looking forward to performing that night.
And how excited are you that it's the main event too? Like, and you're fighting a guy coming in from Ontario, have all the East Coast fans behind you. That's gotta be a real big motivating factor for you going forward, Justin.
Yes, very exciting. When I figured out it was the main event slot, I was like super pumped.
Well, it's very exciting. And Patrick coming in on short notice, did you have another opponent lined up, or was Patrick kind of the person offered for you and now here we are?
They were looking. No, they didn't. They were just numerous names, and then some fights fell through, and then got a hold of Patrick, and he was game, and then the rest was from there.
And now that you're getting this opportunity, how many more times would you like to stay active here in 2022, Justin?
Well, I see, I'm getting older, 39 now. I slightly see the door closing in on me, but I've made like a lifetime of good health choices. I feel my body's been, primed to do this, and I'd like to fight, at least a couple of times this year.
I would just say, looking at you, your body looks in great shape. You wouldn't even know you're closing in on 40. So credit to you on those life choices that you've made to keep the body looking active. And I guess as well, being around the Canadian MMA scene for as long as you have, Justin, what do you make of it right now? Because I think it's starting to have that, that next phase of that next generation. But you've been around, you were there for the beginning of the boom of MMA in Canada. And now as we hit the second wave, like, what do you like of the scene, or thoughts on the scene as a whole right now?
Well, you would consider an athlete like myself, coming up. I had to do boxing, and then you'd have to go find a wrestling gym, and you would have to, do various martial arts to, complete your game. But now we're seeing, young kids come up in a full MMA program, and you're seeing these amateur fights. The performances are like amazing to watch, right? The talent is amazing that's coming up out of these gyms, and there's young, hungry, fast kids that are looking to make a name for themselves.
Yeah, so it's so pivotal too with the amateur scene out, not only out east but out west. I know in Ontario we still don't have amateur as a thing, and those amateurs have to compete stateside or in other parts of the country. So and you're seeing the value of it. Like, look at this card; it's mostly an amateur card of guys making their debuts, who I'm sure whose names in 5 years will be household names in the country.
Absolutely, no, I agree. Like, the last FLA, there was a young kid that made his debut as an amateur, and he knocked the guy out with a spinning wheel kick.
Yeah,
And it's like, wow, man, like, first fight, what a way to end it, right?
yeah, I saw that and I thought, man, that's not only great for him, but great for the promotion to get that publicity too for a knockout like that. And when you look at this fight with Patrick, though, here, Justin, as we shift back, Patrick is a long, lanky guy, even a guy that's kind of amazing how he got down to 145. What do you see in him, stylistically, or anything where you're gonna kind of exploit, or like, no, you don't want to give away your game plan, but thoughts on going into the fight?
Yeah, his length is going to be interesting. Probably like, I don't know if his idea is to keep me at range, but I'm an aggressive. I have a wrestling background, so I'm just gonna have ways to find ways to win. I can make small adjustments during the fight, and I'm just looking to match my skills against his and cause some good excitement for the FLA fans, right?
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. And as well as you say, you're getting up there. I know you're known to be, I guess, a 145er, Justin. Are you going to make the trek up to 155 going forward, or as this is a catchweight fight, obviously, but 155 going forward, or going to try to make another run at 145?
I'm pretty comfortable at 45. Like I said, like, I made a lot of good health choices throughout my life, and I eat clean. I make sure I'm up in the morning, put my road work in. I try to like have a good balanced life with everything that goes on in the world, and I walk around probably at like 58 right now, or 157. So the cut to 45 wasn't too bad for me, I don't think. So I'm thinking, like, I would have agreed to 145 for this fight, but 150 is good too.
Hey,
Yeah, no.
whatever gets you in the cage, I guess, right now, Justin, as you've had that long layoff and just wanted to get out there and showcase your skills. But Justin, can't wait to see the fight on Saturday against Patrick Connors. It's great to see the scene going on in Canada. We had some great shows 2 weeks ago out west. Ontario at BTC just had a show last weekend, and now out east, it's their turn to put on a show with you in the main event against Patrick Connors. Before I let you go, Justin, plug yourself out there on social media, or anyone else you feel that needs to be given a shout out from yourself.
I'd like to thank my sponsors, Paisanos Pizzeria, Kimura Ware, North Nova Refrigeration, and I thank my friends and family and teammates, my head coach, Scott McLean. He's a big role in all this, game planning and everything, and keep me motivated and working hard. And I'd like to thank FLA too, Derek and John Foster, for having me as a main slot. And I want to thank everybody that bought tickets to come watch the show and support local MMA and all the athletes that are, that work hard to perform for these events.
All right, Justin. Well, best of luck and safe getting there to New Brunswick if you're not already there. Best of luck on Saturday against Patrick Connors, and can't wait to see the fight. Should be a fantastic main event at FLA 4. That's Justin Bourgeois, everyone. Thanks for your time, Justin.
Thanks, buddy.